Hi, Shane Saracen here to talk about an underrated or an influential drummer, in my opinion. And when I say that again, I'm talking about somebody that made a difference in my playing in my life. And that person is Ronnie Tutt. Ronnie Tutt was a drummer for Elvis primarily, Neil Diamond for many, many years, and lots of other sessions and Elvis tributes and uh, bits and pieces of Elvis's band that toured around. Excuse me, but my parents got divorced when I was very young, and we would spend, a couple weeks with my dad in the summers and stuff, and he would come get us. Now, both my parents were huge Elvis fans, but my dad, I think he thought he was the blonde Elvis, and he would put in his 8-track, in his car's 8-track stereo, he would play these Elvis 8-tracks as we were going from Kentucky to Florida. And um, I got to hear Elvis live at Madison Square Garden 1,000 times, and I just really was taken by the drumming of Ronnie Tutt because it was pretty aggressive, and it just sounded really cool. And I liked like the American Trilogy when he was doing the snare drum rolls and whatever, and then there'd be rock songs, shuffle songs, two beats, all kinds of things. So it was a great learning experience to pick up some of the different ideas. And when he did Fever, the cool drum fills and stuff. And then I specifically remember watching the Aloha from Hawaii concert with my mom, which was, if I'm not understanding, the first simulcast worldwide concert or something like that, and being mesmerized by Ronnie Tutt in this. He was wearing white, but he was had a giant blue double bass Ludwig set, and again I got to actually see this versus just hearing it. Now a lot of people today don't understand that because you just didn't see concerts and video clips unless they were on Ed Sullivan or something like that. But that era of Elvis, you didn't see a lot of live clips. So when that concert was broadcast, it was a big deal. And now we have YouTube, and you just take all that for granted, but you didn't have that. But I became, a huge fan of Ronnie Tutt, and then later he played with Neil Diamond and stuff like that after Elvis's death. But I was really taken by his drumming, and there's some people out there that might be able to answer this question. And there's a clip of him doing a drum solo, and he's got that blue double bass set, but there's something going across the bottom of the heads, and I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's a specific kind of muffling or what it was, but it looked really interesting. And this would have been in a time in the 70s where if there wasn't any kind of special electronics or something, I didn't know about him at that point. But anyway, I became a huge, huge fan of his because I do think that, generically he got just labeled, oh, he's Elvis's drummer. But when you really listen, he did a lot of variety and a lot of things, and he sounded great. So, and then to be able to step into the role of Neil Diamond, and, I'm sure Neil said, when my hips move, you don't have to play a fill or something. Where with Elvis, he was playing off of what Elvis did movement wise. So anyway, I just became a fan of the look, the sound, and the aggressiveness of how he played, but also the amount of styles that he played. So I became a fan and was influenced by Ronnie Tutt.